Hi everyone, this is Hardy. In this lecture we will check out some really cool and really easy ways to render realistic looking water. Water always adds instant drama and movement to any painting. It's one of those visual elements that creates a really immersive experience for the viewer. When rendered well, you can practically hear the trickling stream or crashing waves. Water can also be a great focal point or eye-leading compositional tool since we can make it follow just about any path that we want. The best news is water can be rendered with very little actual painting. I've got some great custom shapes for this that you can use, and that coupled with some photo textures and a bit of touching up is really all you need to get some really cool results. Let's check this forest setup that I have here. Notice that I've left this middle area fairly dark. That's going to be where our stream will flow, so this is a great starting point. Now with water, there are all kinds of dynamics going on. There are reflections of the sky above, wave motion, and the transparency of water showing whatever riverbed might lie beneath. It can all get kind of confusing, so I'll dramatically simplify that with this process and tools that we'll use here. First of all, let's paint in the indication of the bottom of this little stream. Save this for just a few areas. We want it to look like an area where the sun is really burning through and making this little stream kind of glow. I'll use some warm brown tones and maybe kind of a mottled rendering to make it look like all kinds of rocks and sand down there. Great. Now once we have this foreground area rendered, try copying this somewhere upstream. It kind of repeats the effect and will give your image some depth. We can even apply a bit of a Gaussian blur to either of these areas to make it a little more vague and obscured since it's going to be underwater after all. Okay, here's where the digital magic comes in. We'll use the custom shapes from our water group. Let's start with a couple of waterfall shapes off in the distance to make it seem like this stream is rolling over some rocks or fallen logs in the water. Just cool storytelling elements like that to give our image some interest. I've also got some great rippling water highlight shapes that give the water an incredibly realistic shine. Drag out multiple shapes and make them bigger and bigger the closer we get to the foreground. You can even overlap or distort some of these shapes to fit the flow that you envision. Check out this shape we've put over the glowing sandy river bottom that we painted in earlier. Creates an incredibly realistic effect, all with just a few clicks. Once you've got a really good set of shapes in place, we can merge all of these custom shape layers together by selecting them all and hitting Command E. Now that they're all on one layer, let's hide that layer and create a new one. We'll Command click on that shapes layer to create a selection of all the shapes we've placed. I'll hide that selection, and now we can paint in some off-white with a soft brush to give this effect a little refinement. Save the brightest spots for areas where you really want the water to sparkle and it will look amazing. So there we have it, a very fun and easy way to get some realistic looking water into your painting.